Alright everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the F123 Driver Crimo with Ferrari, episode number 38 today for the Canadian Grand Prix of Season 3. If you missed the previous episode at Spain, I recommend you go and check the one out before seeing that one, because spoiler alert, our teammate retired at his home race. Subsequently, we went on to win that race, and a rain affected affair, and also chaos a little bit there as well, with the two Alpines crashing on the pit lane entry. Now Sainz is also, he's been apparently unsympathetic towards me about the boos that we received on the podium there. Obviously, the relationship is clearly at a new low between us. I personally would prefer to try and start again with him, but that's up to him. You know, I'm not, at the end of the day, it's up to Ferrari and him to make that decision. But yes, already I kind of think that one of us will end up leaving at the end of the season, if not both. But yes, moving back to some R&D, we're going to put a minor drag reduction upgrade. That's going to come in for Austria. I did think about rushing it, but it's just, what's the point? We're far out in front. I know the engine is a priority as well. We're going to continue with that, and tyre wear as well. Although saying that tyre wear is still at 0.9. Obviously, we didn't really see it that much in Spain because it was a wet race. So it'll be interesting to see how the tyres get on here as well. But yeah, minor drag reduction should be on for car for Austria as well. Now, I've got a thing about this department event. It's asking me about lines. Now, this is the wrong question. It's basically being copied and pasted from my team, and it's annoying, very annoying that they've done this. I know why they've had to add department events to driver career mode, because they got rid of interviews back on F1 22. Obviously since then they've just been patching it over with these dreadful questions. Yeah, this should not be a question. I doubt the Ferrari team balance is £645,000. That's not even enough to buy a James Bree from Southampton, if you know Southampton Football Club. Yeah, basically, yeah, this should be, we want you to model it, and then it says yes, no, and you get a relationship level with the team goes up or down depending if you do what they say or not. But anyway, the weather looks like it's going to be making an appearance for the second race in a row right at the end. The question is, will this efface the race? Will they be cut early enough for INTERS? That will be the big question that we'll have to look at. Yeah, obviously we bought some upgrades. Red Bull have finally bought an upgrade, which is good for them. Haas have done all the others and have moved into third place. So can Zhou and Hulkenberg get the position they want? AlphaTauri jump Alfa Romeo as well. Williams have also bought an upgrade. Alpine and McLaren also bought upgrades. So it's about time we're starting seeing the AI upgrading a little bit more than they have done so far in this career mode. But yes, qualifying is dry here, of course, in Montreal. So that means, of course, yeah, I'm going for a dry setup because the race is going to be majority dry as well. Excuse me. So, you know, obviously that's what we're looking. Normal qualifying service has been resumed after 2 poles in a row. Our first lap was good enough for P14. Yeah. The two Mercedes, though, are loving life down here with me as well. I think Lawson, although they're saying that I think Norris has just improved, Lawson down here as well. We'll go 10th up in the first sector. And the first and the middle sector is where I'm losing time, especially the middle sector. I've always lost, but never really liked the middle sector here in Canada. It's just a bland series of corners, in my opinion. But, you know, that doesn't mean I don't love Canada. The circuit is fantastic. You know, it's produced racing year after year after year as we go into the hairpin section. If you're using a braking assist, you will need extra braking for that section, because otherwise you'll end up in Narnia at that corner, especially if you don't have little downforce, which I tend to reduce the amount of downforce on my setup in order to make it, you know, fast and straight line. And then we come through the final couple of corners, up to the line, keep to the right for the shortest route, and that's a huge amount of time gained, and it's enough for P6. So although Sainz is back on pole, P6 is better than P14. You know, I think the race pace is always there for me. So we're looking good for a good result. It's just a question what we're going to do about the rain. Perez not having the best result either. Russell only P10. Haas not living up to their upgrades either. Zhou P12. Hulkenberg P14. And De Vries not helping out Aston Martin there. So, yeah, well, we'll see what we can do from 6th place on the grid. Time for the race.
Lights Out in Canada is approaching at a venue where the island was built for the 1967 World's Fair. The world has gathered once again. Welcome to the Canadian Grand Prix. .7-mile circuit peaking at around 190 miles per hour. 2 DRS zones, 14 turns, tight corners, a narrow track, and the famous Wall of Champions. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position. Edging out Max Verstappen, who will start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ocon, Norris, Phoenix, Perez, Gasly, Tsunoda, Bottas, Russell, Zhou, Albon, Hulkenberg, Leclerc, Liam Lawson, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, De Vries, Magnussen and Logan Sargent. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. With me today, of course, is Natalie Pinkham. Why don't we kick off by discussing Max Verstappen? And we welcome to the commentary box Anthony Davidson. There's a new gearbox in that car, Anne, and they suffered a grid penalty as a result. You must have been in this spot before.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please.
Dropping P4, I've got to mention the 2 Alpines, by the way, having a fantastic qualifying. They're much improved. They just need to stop colliding into each other. Race strategy is a 1-stop, but I'm going to start on mediums because that rain could be an issue. We can always pit early onto softs and gain the fastest lap as well. So, you know, that's my thinking if Sainz runs away. So 5 red lights then to the Canadian Grand Prix from 5th place on the grid. And lights are out and away we go. It's a good start compared to Norris as well. Verstappen has got Sainz off the line. We'll get a replay of that shortly. We're going to try and get past Lando Norris though. If he's on the soft tyres, we're going to use a bit of ERS. And back end steps out there at turn 2. We're up to P4. So good progress there. Sainz bogged down again, just like he did in Spain. Lucky not to lose out to Ocon there as well. So Sainz starting to go backward. You know, his starts have not been great as well. We're looking to get past Esteban Ocon as quickly as possible. The Alpine is improved, but it's not nowhere near the level of the Ferrari yet. Definitely they've got good race pace around here. They showed a little bit in Spain as well. You know, it seems like they like low drag, and you know, maybe the new Renault engine, obviously being this is the new engine regulations a year early, albeit, but yeah, unfortunately though for Ocon, Norris is going to have a go around the outside. Alpine on the medium tyres as well in this early phase, so I don't know if they're going to have to go to hards with their tyre wear isn't that great as well. There is one man on the start on the hard tyres, that's Liam Lawson. So if the rain does come at a particular time, he can move straight to INTERS compared to the soft runners and gain some time. But that banks on the rain coming up by lap round 20-ish as well. So watching Sergio Perez, he's behind the 2 Alpines, but it's not going to be a good end to the race for Perez because that's a plume of smoke. He's out of the race with engine failure. That must be a worry for Verstappen if the Ford engine has been not that great. You know, they double DNF'd in Jeddah, and ever since then, you know, though Verstappen has been leading this race, Sainz is closing in all the time, and Sainz is going to have to go right round the outside of the hairpin now. Verstappen leaves in the room, and I think Sainz is going to be passed already before the DRS straight, just showing the issues that Ford are maybe having with that engine. We're going to jump a lot later into the race now. Verstappen has now made his pit stops. We have been closing in on Verstappen since he got overtaken, and keeping the gap to evened about 4.5 seconds to Sainz. Sainz, by the way, came out behind one of the Alpines and is just going to breeze past, so Sainz is not in the traffic, and he's 8 seconds behind us. The two Alpines were together and helping me out by keeping, slowing down Verstappen. That gap has grown between Sainz and Verstappen to 5 seconds. It was 2 before the pit stop phase as well. Gasly's coming as well. I presume for hards, probably not softs. We're coming 2 laps early, and it's sort of a gamble here, to hit this early. But the objective is to close up to Verstappen and take the lead from Sainz. Time for the fastest lap of the race.
Okay, gap ahead is 4.7 seconds. Okay, the gap behind is 9 seconds.
So, yes, fastest lap for the Sainz, and we've caught up to Verstappen by lap 26, but notice it is getting overcast. The rain is coming, but is it going to come enough before the end of the race? We'll have to wait and see about that. First up is getting in front of Verstappen. I think these tyres, if for some reason the rain doesn't come thick enough, I think we should be good enough to get to the end of the race. The question is can we keep ahead of Verstappen and limit the damage to Sainz? If we finish P2, we've got fastest lap, he's only going to take a 3-point lead, but as we go round the outside of Verstappen, and well, it's a comfortable move up into P2. Now, jumping to lap 30 though, you can see it's really starting to rain here properly, and I've made the call. We're going to gamble onto a set of intermediate tyres. I don't quite know where we're going to come out, but I think this is going to be the right call. The rain is only going to get worse from this time too. 2.2 second stop. It's a very good stop. Onto a set of intermediates. Nobody else, I don't think, is coming in at this time. Norris will go through. Ocon, I think, will go through. Alpine, they're 5th and 6th actually. A very good race. Sonoda is also recovering, but again, it's been a bit stagnant this race. Apologies about that, as Ocon, those hards are not giving the grip as well. Maybe Alpine need a tyre wear upgrade as well. DRS has been disabled on lap 31, so this is a very good time for us to make this move. Verstappen, is 12.5 seconds up the road. If this is the point when it's DRS disabled, it's the right time to come in. We're going to breeze past Norris again, getting the racing line through that final corner. As well, and just like that, a lap later we've closed down a 12-second gap on Verstappen. They're going so slowly. I don't understand why they've not come in for intermediate tyres. With half the gap to Sainz, it was 20 seconds 2 laps ago, and this move is the only really make this move where you've got either a big tyre advantage like we have. We are on the right tyres, the intermediates as well, but you can see here, well, Russell is he's crashed into the wall of champions. He's lucky not to DNF out the race. He has lost his front wing there. as well. Piastri's gotten deep as well and skates the wall of champions too. They're all struggling for grip on the wrong tyre. Russell's gone deep. You know, they're going 3 wide between 2 McLarens, and they're just, oh my goodness, Bottas is like drifting it through. They're going about 2 miles an hour through turn 1 as well. There's Russell, he's pulled off to the side. This is carnage at the end of this Canadian Grand Prix, as they're all on the wrong tyre as well. Lance Stroll, he's actually up into the points as well. With all the chaos, the Williams could be getting their first point of the season. It's been a while since Stroll scored his first points, any points in his career mode as well. And lap 34, I mean, Sainz is just a sitting duck, and we just breeze past. A little bit deep there. It is borderline potentially time for wets as well as we get to the end of the Grand Prix. But yes, Sainz will be kicking himself. He has allowed us, his main championship rival, and the man who is unsympathetic towards him, to take the lead. As Nick De Vries is the only other man on intermediates now. He's made a very late stop onto intermediates. You can see he's just breezed past the Alphas. I'm not sure Nick will be able to get points, sadly. He's a bit too far back. But you can see 14 seconds in the space of a lap and a half. As we come up to the line to surprisingly win the Canadian Grand Prix, you've got to be on the right tyre at the right time, and we were, and the AI definitely weren't. What on earth were they all thinking of, or struggling around on the slick tyres on a wet track?
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. Natalie, fill us in. What was it that helped the team achieve their success today?
Mixed conditions offers up so many variables, so many opportunities as well. I think it was a great effort from everyone. For those who scored points, fair play. To win it, wow, hats off.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
When I made the call for INTERS, I did not expect to win the race. You know, this was all about damage limitation. I knew that, you know, there was a possibility we could have spun in the wet conditions. You know, it was about safety. I think we could have definitely got Verstappen back with the INTERS. Definitely, if not, definitely a podium. You know, limited the, I was in damage limitation mode to Sainz. You know, we did not. Sainz was running away with that. You know, he dominated after, not being able to get past Verstappen. He dominated the middle part of that race. And it's another race where Sainz has dominated, just like Australia, and he's failed to win. He will definitely not be happy. And obviously, because we won and he finished second, whereas he would have been leading the Drivers' Championship, he's now 11 points back now. Verstappen, he's starting to get a bit of momentum. I'd love to see Verstappen split myself and Sainz, get Red Bull involved as well. Perez not having a great time of it, obviously DNF today. And, Red Bull are now 118 points behind. Excuse me, in the constructors, Alpine sit P4. I think there's going to be a battle for P3 if Mercedes are not, obviously Russell not looking great today. Rivalry, we pretty much won that. Leclerc has not been that great for Alfa Romeo. Definitely not as good as we and even Alonso in that car was scoring points in that last season. Obviously, they have had the regulation change, but yeah, 3 wins in a row. 3 fastest lap wins in a row, I should say, and majority of it, Monaco and Australia, 2 of those out of the 4 wins we've had so far have been instances where Sainz has dominated from large parts. In Australia it was worse for him because he was clear out the front, and then obviously they had the safety car and he, fell asleep, but at the end of the day, it's only 11 points. Anything can change. Austria's next up, and then Silverstone and Belgium. The next 3 tracks are quite good for me. Netherlands, not so much. So, you know, we obviously want to try and build a gap now as much as possible before we arrive at some of the tracks that are probably going to less suit me. But that's not to say that science could throw in a surprise, and then maybe, you know, it only takes me to have one poor qualifying. You know, we got lucky qualifying starting P5. You know, that's easily winnable. If we're P14, then, you know, it's going to be a lot harder. So yes, that's where I'm going to leave it for today's video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, see plenty more F123 driver videos as and when they come out. Until next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.